Hello everyone. I'm proud to announce that I have a chance to meet with coach. It's not Julia Carver, it's Matthew Carver, the head coach of the Sarajevo Spartans, long time coach of American football from Nashville, Tennessee. He will join us for a short interview just to discuss in a pre-game interview for round 2 of the BHFL on May 23rd. Banja Luka Rebels will host Sarajevo Spartans on Stadion Krajina. Nice to see you, coach, again. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
I guess you are really impatient about when to start this season. It's been long. Your last game was in the bowl.
The last time we played was last November. We were supposed to have a game the same day that y'all did on the 9th, but Zagreb couldn't make it because of the COVID stuff. So we were prepping for a May 9th game as well. And of course that didn't happen. So several of us came up and watched y'all play on May 9th. So.
That's pretty cool. So how did the preparations go since November, especially due to the COVID situation?
It went all right. I mean, the COVID situation really just messes up your planning. And so at the beginning of the year, it's a question of what leagues are we even going to be able to play? Are we going to be able to play 7, 8, 9-man? What might it be? We had discussions on playing in the Balkan Football League, trying to pull that together, even though half the teams couldn't do it. So it gets you a little nervous just because you don't know exactly what you're preparing for. But once we figured out it was 8-man, we got to it and got in our balloons, did some February practices, and then once March came around, got outside, thank goodness. But yeah, it has been a while. It has been a while since I actually stepped on the game field. So yeah. I'm ready.
You also play Balkan Football League. Eight teams will kickstart. It was since 2 years ago that it should have started, correct?
No, it's supposed to start right before COVID. We were practicing for Balkan Football League. So really the idea for it came in 2019. We were preparing in 2020. And instead of playing that, we sat in our apartment for 2 months. Almost the same. And look, I look at 2020 and, thank God that we got to play a little 8-man towards the end of the year. Because I could have been sitting here saying, hey, I haven't played since fall of 2019. And luckily we got to play some last year. So, it is what it is. We'll take what we can get and just try to push forward. And, we're playing 8-man this year and next season can we move up to 9-man and then eventually move up to 11-man. So it's just those baby steps.
Yeah. How do you handle that difference in preparing team for two different situations, 8-man football, 11-man football? It has a lot of similarities, but the differences are huge.
Listen, football is in large part, the whole game is about space, right? And it's about taking and controlling space. And so when you take out people and you take out space, everything about that space changes, right? The distance to the sideline changes. The space between cornerbacks and safeties changes, all of those things. So, what you try to do is take your 11-man principles and what can you use? What principles and what parts can you use from that 11-man idea on the 8-man playing field, right? And adjust it to that different amount of space and that different amount of people.
So you have it figured out. Hopefully that will work out for you.
Well, I tell people I feel bad, if we're just playing 11-man and we have I'm coaching one team and you're coaching a team, and Narim's coaching a team in Tuzla and Banja Luka. There's a ton of resources for 11-man football all over the internet, right? Videos, books, all sorts of stuff, both free and for pay, that you can point all of your players to, right? Whereas 8-man, there's almost nothing.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. And so, we spent years, I've been here since 2012. We spent years when we played 6, 7, 8, 9-man football. And so I made my mistakes 7 and 8 years ago instead of last year. And that's what you want to do. Make those mistakes as quickly as possible and adjust to them. And you're going to learn. And the next year, each coach will be like, okay, I remember doing these things in 2020. I remember doing these things in 2021. This didn't work. This did. And you just start adjusting over years. But making those mistakes hurts.
I know the feeling. You have been in Tuzla and watched the game between Salt Miners and Rebels that Salt Miners won 34-26. What are your impressions of it?
Well, we were talking earlier of it felt like two different games almost. It felt like y'all came out and were very dominating and aggressive the first half, and then they came out and felt like they were the ones dominating and aggressive the second half. And they made some adjustments. You got to give them some credit for making adjustments at halftime. But you have that stat of what's the most important stat behind the score is turnovers. And they landed on a few of their fumbles and got lucky, whereas y'all had a few interceptions and got unlucky. And it's those things of them holding the ball, young quarterback throwing it away or going down instead of throwing the ball. And that just comes with experience. Look, you had your quarterback was playing first game at quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And you still put up 26 points. And I know a quarterback loses his first game, he's feeling bad, and it's like, you put up 26 points. And you made a lot of good throws and you made a lot of good runs, and you had to boss around 7 other guys on the field and get them in the right place and all of these things. And Narim has been doing this for a few years. He's played some. And so it is that difference. And you'll see a little bit more calm from all of those brand new players with every game. So no, it was close. It was fun to watch. And it could have gone either way. And so I'm looking forward to the next one. Coming up to Banja Luka and yelling at y'all and laughing because it's not my team making mistakes. It's y'all and Tuzla making mistakes. So
yes, but you are here in Bosnia since 2012, and for a long time, Sarajevo Spartans were the lone team in the nation. 2018, you have played the Salt Bowl against Tuzla, if I remember. 2019, Rebels joined as well. So this is actually a third season of three-way league, if I call it that way. What do you make of the progress of the sports in Bosnia so far?
Well, I'm an impatient dude, so I'm like, let's go. No, we started in 2012 and, just got slaughtered our first few games, right? And, didn't score any points for the first few games and all of those things. That's why I'm like, your quarterback y'all had 4 touchdowns. My first quarterback didn't have a touchdown for 4 games. But in 2015, we revamped just how we were working with our club, and our highest priority was getting local, Damachi opponents. Because when we looked at Serbia, and it's that they have two leagues, they have like a guaranteed 8 games a year, down the street at low cost because they just went an hour away. Or, heck, there's 2 Belgrade. They went, 3 kilometers. And so it's the only way that we can start growing at that rapid pace was to get homegrown league. And that's when we started kind of putting out feelers, talking to friends that we had in Tuzla and Bijeljina and Mostar, y'all, just like little people started hearing about us, and people like your club president's like, hey, can we get in on that? Absolutely. Tuzla, the first year that they played, one of the reasons we had a few of our guys that played that first season with them. And it's like, yeah, let's play. We gave them real players, right? Our starting quarterback played for them. It wasn't like we sent, scrubs. Like, no, we want competition. They won that first softball. And, I'm sure there are some Spartans who are like, oh, I can't believe we let them have Yasmin and Jada on that. Well, guess what? We need that competition. We want it to be healthy competition. Last year y'all beat us, and it's like, I was like, great. They up their game. That's what we want, right? We want them bringing in talent. We want them bringing in guys that are going to make their whole team better, and hopefully make their team better for years to come. Because if y'all get better, we get better. Yeah. That's just the bottom line, right? If Tuzla gets better, we get better. Because if our goal is eventually play international 11-on-11 competition, well, I want to be the best that we can possibly be. And that's only, that's the idea of iron sharpens iron. And it's like, no, I want Banja Luka to be close, right? I want 18 to 14 games. I want to be on top. I want to win. It's like, the game should be a 1-touchdown game, right? Because all 3 of us should be pushing our games forward, at an equal good rate. And hopefully we'll get other teams. I would love to have 5 instead of 3, right? I'd love for Bijeljina and Mostar to have a club.
And having 2 divisions in it.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be great, right? We had 2 extra teams, and that way we had 2 home games, 2 away games, 5 teams playing, just getting that experience. And then more and more players like you, they're like, you know what? I need to let younger, more able-bodied guys in there, and I need to coach. If my goal is, I would love to be just, grandpa football over here and have, somebody local coaching all the clubs, and just be helpful, do some coaching clinics, help run the league, maybe, help, get better referees. And now the referees are going to call more penalties against us than y'all.
I wouldn't do that, but I get your point. I agree that the only way we can prosper is to have better teams, more quality, more teams, and what's most important, more games that our young players can get.
Yeah.
To touch on that base, what do you think about possible national team or 11-man? Where do you see talent from Tuzla and Banja Luka compared to Sarajevo guys?
I think our biggest talent is experience in Sarajevo. That's the truth. My older guys have played around 100 games, and you can't recreate that, right? I think the big thing I look at between y'all and Tuzla is you look at their skill players are their more talented guys, and you have some linemen and some linebackers that are your more talented guys. If I'm just looking on the pure aggression and the pure, being able to move bodies. But yeah, we've taught, Tuzla's running back and wide receiver are talented players. Y'all have some linemen and linebackers that just have that natural. They play pissed off. They play aggressive, and that's what you need. And the thing is, I can coach up natural aggression and natural talent, and we can very easily get them to where they need to be. And yeah, with our players, like I said, I can't replace 9 years, no matter what. And so very much so, you're going to have guys down here that, regardless of talent level, are going to do the right things and be at the right spot. And that's experience. It's the same thing with coaching. We were talking about the best thing you can do is get those mistakes and learn from them. I got a long line of mistakes. The first time I played with the football was 1985. So my list of mistakes is going to be longer than anybody else's here. But it helps me react. It helps me get where I need to be. It helps me put the team in a good situation to succeed. So I think that's what I look at. You have different talented players that can absolutely come together. The question is, can they come together and gel and work together? Because unlike any other game, American football, you have to mesh, and it's like those 5 linemen really play as one unit. If you're going to have really good receiving or passing, it's not just a receiver and a quarterback. It's combo routes, it's blocking, it's all of that, and it has to be in concert. So I think the big thing with a national team is how do you come together? How do you practice? How does everyone get on the same page? And I think the better you can do that, the better shot you have of beating teams that might be bigger and stronger or faster than you. But if you have been practicing, if you have been able to come together and do some of these things together, you have a good shot of beating them. Just like with a team like Army or Navy or a college team that's not that big, it's that concert, right? It's 11 guys doing exactly what they're supposed to, right at the right time, and they go beat people that are bigger, stronger, faster, all of those things. So,
yeah, thankfully we can grow together. Before we finish, I just wanted to ask you about your expectations for next Sunday and the game in Banja Luka. I know it's not easy to ask Coach what are his expectations.
My guess is that we're going to have a 0-0 tie.
Okay.
See how I did that so safely?
Yeah. I'm not really asking about the result, but
yeah,
what do you expect to see as a coach from a sideline, different from the game that you played last year in Banja Luka?
My goal with any of these games is afterwards, can I look through the film and say we didn't make any big mistakes? That's my goal. And so if I can get through film and I can look at it and say, wow, our players went to the right spot. They played their assignment. They didn't miss assignments. They didn't do stupid things, get stupid penalties. That's what I'm looking for. And it's one of those things where it's a coaching cheat code, basically, of I look at it and I practice some very little things. So my goal is to have no fumbles and no interceptions.
Okay, that's
the biggest goal. And if we have no fumbles and no interceptions, we win, right? And that's simple things, but it really is. Look, like I said, what is Sarajevo's advantage? Experience. We should look experienced. And so I will be disappointed if we don't look experienced. Even if we win and look inexperienced and look silly, look like we haven't practiced, I will be angry. I will still have angry coach face for 2 weeks until we can play Tuzla and take it out on them. Wow. So Tuzla better pray that we have a good game. Yeah.
Just like you're not in a good situation with us being a little bit more aggressive since we've lost. So we need to.
Look, I think one of the things that Banja Luka, if I'm y'all, I'm looking for is, okay, can we have a game with no high snaps? Can we have a game with half the interceptions? Can we have a game where, we're falling forward for extra yardage, don't have fumbles, things like that? And so you look at the last game against Tuzla and you say, this is where we were with turnovers, and Sarajevo, we were here. And then it's like, great. This is where we were with penalties. This is where we were with Sarajevo. This is where we were with correct blocking assignments. Sarajevo, we had more correct blocking assignments. This is how many drops we had against Tuzla. This is how many drops we had against Sarajevo. And so it's just that it's that constant idea that the other team is not actually the opponent, right? We're the opponent. Our level of perfection is the opponent. And so if y'all do all your blocking assignments correctly, if you don't drop passes, if you don't have turnovers, all that, the score takes care of itself, right?
Yes.
And so that is what I look for expectations is, can I keep it? I want to have less than 4 penalties against the Spartans, right? That's what I want. Stuff happens, but a penalty a quarter, if I can keep it under that, great. That's what I'm looking for as a coach. That's my expectations as a coach. And then I expect for us to all stay healthy. That's the other thing. So
let's pray to that we all stay healthy through the season.
Amen.
Thank you, Coach, for your time. Yeah, it's much appreciated. We are really eager to have you here next Sunday. I'm looking forward to see and talk to you in person. I wish you all the best next week during the practices. Let's get everyone healthy.
Good luck with regrowing your mustache.
Oh, I'll do my best, but
look, I'm doing what I need to for my club's success. Right here.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
I have this book.
I love that stat that you sent me.
Yeah.
That when you're coaching with a mustache, you have 100% win rate. And I think you have tempted the football gods by shaving it off. And I don't know why you would do that.
I know, but that's football. I need to learn from my mistakes as a coach. Yeah, and one of those was shaving off the mustaches.
Look at Mike Vrabel. He's got a beautiful, beautiful mustache.
Yeah, but he still hasn't won anything as a coach.
He's with the Titans, and he's had a winning season every year. That's pretty good for a Titans coach.
That's true. Yeah.
We have low expectations in Nashville. Okay.
Once again, thank you, Coach. It was a pleasure talking with you. See you on Sunday.
All right, man. See ya.